This video is sponsored by Simply Safe. All right, let's do another one. Pull up last video's comments as usual, and it looks like, ding, 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 Dr. Octopus arms. And if you guys don't know, this is actually where I get all my ideas. So if you want me to make something, comment down below, and if it gets enough likes, I'll make it. Which, by the way, y'all have been killing it with the comments lately. Crazy numbers, amazing support, so just thank you very much for that. We actually did a little something special for this video. You might notice my shirt. Woohoo! Limited edition Dr. Octopus shirts and hoodies too. As always, we're hand printing each one and signing them, so I got a little personal touch. If you get one, you can actually be a part of this project and help support this build. Pretty limited though, because again, we're doing this all ourselves. We're only so many people. Be available till the next video drops or till they sell out. But we've also got a bunch of other cool designs too. And also, as a thank you, we're giving away a brand new PS5 to someone who gets one of our shirts. It'll be anything on the store right now until we drop the next video. And we'll just go through all the orders and pick a winner at random. So like the more stuff you get, probably the better chance of winning. Definitely check out the website, and we'll be announcing everything on Instagram too. We're also doing a bunch of other giveaways like 3D printers and other stuff that you guys asked for. So just hit us with a follow there if you want to win some of that stuff too. All right, but enough talking. Dr. Octopus arms, roll the clips. So I'm mostly going to be modeling this off of the 2004 Spider-Man 2 movie with like mild inspiration from the comics. Basically, Dr. Octavius creates these bionic robot arms which actually tap into his nervous system and are controlled with his mind. Well, that is until the arms start controlling him. You know, honestly, it looks pretty painful. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm too down for that, to be honest. But he's got 4 arms that come out of his back. They're like metal triangles, essentially, with little claw grabbers at the end and like evil red lights. And just right away, it looks like he's already an expert somehow at controlling these arms with like extreme precision too. And these movies just love to bend physics. All right, first of all, these arms probably weigh a ton, and there's no way his legs could actually hold that weight. But just say maybe they are super light or whatever, he just tip over if they like reach forward, just like a center of gravity thing. But whatever, off topic. The arms actually do support his weight in a lot of the clips. He's able to climb buildings with them, lift heavy stuff, hang off stuff, you know, all the classic supervillain stuff. So for this build, it'd be awesome if we could have like 4 robotic arms. We'll put it in like a backpack design because again, not really a big fan of the whole needle in the spine thing. But yeah, I want to make these arms as similar to the movie as possible. It's gonna be pretty hard. So maybe like we like break it down into 2 types of arms. We'll have like maybe the 2 lower ones. We'll have more like precision focus, so they like curl around, knock like snakes and everything. Then we have like the upper arms be like the power hitters. That way we get the most functionality possible. Oh yeah, and I want to control it with my mind too. So you're gonna have to figure that out. Oh, so once again, we have an extremely tall order on our plate. Probably gonna be a crazy amount of work, but you know the end product's gonna be worth it. So, you know, if we do manage to impress you, maybe drop that like. So you guys might know, I'm a huge fan of pushing myself to like make the biggest and best project I can, just top my previous builds. But I realized a while ago, like these projects are getting crazy. There's only so many hours in the day. So we're gonna keep increasing the size, complexity, budget. We're gonna need some help. So I actually turned to you guys and asked if any of you wanna help out with these builds. Because I mean, y'all are pretty smart, and I know a lot of you are talented engineers. Seem like the perfect way to go. So I put up an application on our website. It's actually still up if y'all are interested in helping with future builds. We got some amazing responses from some really talented people. So when this Dr. Octopus idea kept coming across the comments, I put together a little group to help out. The guys are Charith, Zach, and Om. The plan was to like team up and build it virtually on SolidWorks. You know, work out as many of the kinks as possible. So that way I could just order all the parts here and then put it together much faster. That way we're not limited to like location. We can work remotely, especially in these times. And honestly, it was a ton of fun meeting every week, figuring out the design for this. It was nice to actually bounce ideas off other people for once instead of me just coming up with everything. Because I've never really gotten to do that before, so it was really helpful. 2 of the guys, Zach and Om, were actually in the area, so they were able to come here and help out with the build, which is super cool. Just start off with some easy questions. Who's your favorite YouTuber?
You like it here, don't you?
Love Jlaservideo.
How would you say the project's going so far?
Mostly, like a few bumps here and there.
How do you think he's been doing?
What do you expect to be like this place, and then what it really is?
I actually expected it to be similar to the...
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't think it would be like super amazing place.
Why'd you apply? What?
Seeing like YouTubers like you guys, like that's kind of what I wanted to do. I was just watching your video and I was like, oh shit, is this my chance?
Yeah, you actually, he's been putting out videos.
Yeah, I know. What?
You mentioned like, oh, this group seemed pretty cool, so I applied and I'm here.
So first thing we did was tackle the precision arms. These ones are the ones that should look most like the movie. So as usual, we first started with a bunch of research on different robot designs that would make something that looked most like the movie. And basically it comes down to what's the best way to control multiple joints that move in all directions. So one method is to use multiple servos, you know, all connected in a chain. Like, saw a lot of YouTube channels doing videos like this. I think some guys at Carnegie Mellon did a pretty advanced one. It can actually climb trees and stuff. But the downside of this method is its lifting capabilities when like implemented in something where it's fixed at one point. So like on the ground, they're great, they're cool, they look like snakes and everything. But as soon as you fix it at one point, because you have all of the servos along the arm, it's gonna make it pretty heavy. You know, it's not a big deal for the first couple motors because they only have to lift a little bit, but once you get down to like the end joint, got all this stuff to lift. So you're adding more weight, but you're also increasing the distance from the fulcrum, so it like exponentially increases the amount of torque you need to move. A lot of sciencey words. Unfortunately, there's not too many ways around the fact that just long, flexible robot arms are gonna be difficult to control, especially at that connection joint. Like, it's just physics. And the problem only increases when you try and pick stuff up, because that's adding weight at the worst possible point, right at the end, where it's gonna be the heaviest. So the best we can do is make this as light as possible and as strong as possible, all while keeping the mobility of the joints as flexible as possible. You know, obviously easier said than done. But there are ways to help. One thing we can actually do is move all the motors off the arm and onto the end. And then we can use wires to actuate each joint. This way the motors can be at the base of the arm. It saves a lot of weight along the arm, and the arms don't need to weigh nearly as much. This is actually how commercial snake robots work. Yeah, that's actually a thing. They're pretty cool and also terrifying. Like, they claim they're used for tasks where you need to get into like a small space and do some super detailed work, but you know, come on. Someone's gonna take over the world with one of these. So we're gonna try and make something like that. But once again, it's gonna be tricky because all these arms have large banks of motors that are usually way bigger than the actual arms themselves. Like, they got a small arm, big bank. We need to fit 2 of these arms on our back. So we came up with a design that uses 3 high torque stepper motors with pulleys. Each arm will be made up of multiple triangular segments with string running through each corner. And because we have 3 strings, that gives us a whole plane of direction if we do a little trig. So printed out 24 of these section pieces and the housing as well. And to connect each section, we're using stiff compression springs because that will allow them to bend but not compress too much. And then we'll cut out some foam to fill in the gaps. This part was actually super satisfying. We also got to use this Rhino camera robot. Basically holds a camera and has a robot drive it along a track. That way you can get the same shot multiple times, super steady. You can do cool time lapses, just a lot of cool effects. So yeah, we're using robots to film other robots. Very cool. Shout out to Rhino. Definitely gonna help up our filming game. So we threw everything together and gave it a test. And well, it didn't work. But I mean, when does it ever work on the first try? So we figured out it's gonna take way more force than we originally thought to move these arms. The stepper motors just aren't strong enough. You know, the Kevlar cord we use isn't strong enough. It's all good though, we just need some stronger cable and some stronger motors. So we upgraded to some steel cable and just did some manual testing to see how much force it would actually take to move these arms. It's about like 50 pounds just to get it to move a little bit, and that's without it holding anything. So we decided on using some high strength linear actuators. Same ones I used in my Iron Man suit actually, when that thing didn't have enough power. So I ordered like 6 of them, and while we wait for those to come in, let's work on the actual claw mechanism. So if you look online, a lot of these robots only have like 2 little pincher claws, but you know, we want a little bit more Dr. Octopus, so we need multiple claws. So we found this design that uses like a DC motor, which drives a screw to move 4 claw segments. So when the middle moves out, all the claw segments close. So we got a kit for the claws and put them all together. As it turns out though, the motors that come with this kit aren't gonna cut it either. You know, this thing's got worse grip than the claw machine. But if we think about it though, all we really need is like a push-pull mechanism. And you know what does that? More linear actuators. So just hit it with a little upgrade, and it works a bit better now. And then we just added a little bit of rubber to the tip so it can actually grip onto stuff, stick them on the end of the arms, and they should work pretty good. So now we got the claws figured out, let's jump back into the arms. So we got all the linear actuators, and my first thought was just to modify the existing housing to fit all the actuators. Maybe we could just face them downward and have wires like loop around a pulley or something. But we tried this, and again, just too much friction. It turned out to be too messy. It was just such a weird angle for the wire to wrap around, especially with that much torque. And you know, it's probably better just to redesign the whole thing. Plus, the cool thing about these actuators is they don't actually expand. Most linear actuators get longer, but these ones just have like a screw mechanism that moves along them, which is great news because that means we can just mount them sideways along our body, and we don't have to worry about them like poking off and looking weird. So I plasma cut some pieces that allow us to bolt all 6 of these together, and then the 2 arms can just bolt onto either side of this block, and we should have plenty of torque to move these arms whichever way we want, which is great because now we can actually pick stuff up. In theory, again, like it was definitely working better, but we're still having problems. Basically, the arms would lift upward, but then just keel over, kind of like a breaching whale. We need them just to stay up there. The arms have too much freedom. Like they're constrained in the XYZ plane, but not the rotational plane. So right now when they lift up, they just and just twist over. And that's just because of the springs we used, you know, they still twist a little bit. So looks like we're gonna need another connection. Enter the universal joint. This only lets things move in the XY plane. Doesn't compress in the Z direction and doesn't rotate either. So this is exactly what we want. Quick 24 arm transplant segments later, the arms are now erect. So I threw together a mounting plate for everything using some T-slot aluminum and mounted the actuator box to it. Definitely a little bit bigger than anticipated, but pretty worth it to have these arms a little stronger. Like, these can lift stuff, so definitely thumbs up for that. Also had to wire up some red lights in the tip of the claws just for that extra Dr. Octopus vibe. And I also noticed from the movie, it looks like the claws can actually see by themselves and kind of have a mind of their own. Like when Octavius isn't looking, the claws got his back. Nope, no pun intended. So I got some of these cameras from SimpliSafe that maybe we can integrate into the build. Basically, they're really smart Wi-Fi security cameras. It's got a wide angle so you can really see what's going on, and it's got human detection and it's all encrypted, so very nice security camera. Like if we could get these arms to automatically detect people, that'd be pretty sweet. SimpliSafe is actually a whole system though. It's very advanced too. You can have your whole place wired for just 50 cents a day. Talking video doorbells, smart locks, Windows sensors, and they'll communicate with this home base and it all works even if there's no power. Comes with a smart control pad used to control everything.
SimpliSafe on.
And of course it's all wired into your phone so you can monitor everything from anywhere. Just keeps you safe and updated, and then they'll even call the police if it detects a break-in. When you detect a break-in, maybe for a final measure, you throw in the arms, hit them with that 1-2 Octo Mayweather special. Setup takes under an hour. Just use the link simplisafe.com/Jlaservideo. Since I installed the system, I've learned quite a bit about what actually goes on in this house. Alright, obviously there's a lot of stuff we can do with these arms and we're just getting started. We still gotta figure out the controls and the whole of their arm system. And as I said, I want the upper arms to really pack a punch. They're gonna be more strength oriented, so hopefully they can help us, you know, lift stuff. So to do that, we're gonna take a page out of a previous build I did, my exoskeleton lifting suit. Basically, it's a pneumatic exosuit that features 2 high-powered pneumatic cylinders. But we're gonna upgrade these from the last time. So now each piston can lift about like 150 pounds. That's 300 pounds total. Good math, Jake. But because this is Dr. Octopus, we need these arms to be able to, you know, like move around on their own. So for that, we're gonna add a motorized shoulder joint so they can like actually rotate up and down. So to get them to actually swivel, we're gonna use some much larger stepper motors this time. And because we want this to be strong, we're gonna plasma cut some 1/4-inch steel mounting brackets. Then we're gonna use some aluminum rod to connect the two, add some gears, add some chains, bolt everything together, and boom, we got our assembly. Now to mount the actual pistons to the arms, I just drilled holes straight through the aluminum rod, tapped some holes into the pistons, bolted it all together. Then we can have the air tube running out the top. So then we ran a quick test just to see if everything was firing. Oh. Pneumatics were working fine, but the actual stepper motors to lift stuff were struggling a little bit. Everything's just too underpowered. But instead of replacing the stepper motors, this time we replaced the drivers because we weren't maxing out the full power. So with these upgraded drivers, arms were moving a little bit better. Now we're talking. But the arms still don't look that cool. You know, they're just like metal tubes sticking off your back. So we decided to 3D print some more parts to slide on over. It'll actually help hold the air tubes too. And then for the end bit where the arm extends, I was trying to figure out a way to make that look a little cooler. Thinking about like collapsible mechanisms, really complicated things, but you know, I think foam might just be the answer. Like pushes down really small, expands out and holds its shape. So we just cut some more pieces and threaded them on the end. And now it can still expand and contract like normal, but it looks a little cooler too. Now for the claws. We need them to be pretty strong if they're gonna lift things. So again, I plasma cut and bent some kind of hook shaped claws, added some more 1/4-inch steel. Then we designed and plasma cut some other claws to set around it and make it look a little bit more like the movie. And these will probably do some damage themselves. Like I definitely wouldn't want to get hit with these. So now we got all 4 arms. Now for the controls. You know, there's always one part in every project that just makes me really want to curl up into a little ball and drown in my own tears. Yeah, that was this part. Like on paper, this seems so simple-ish. Just take like all 6 or 7 drivers for the actuators, mount them to the board, hook them up to the Arduino, wire in the stepper drivers too, add the mind control thing, which we'll get to in a minute, write some code, upload it, done. That's the annoying part. I did all that and it still doesn't work. This is a headache in a box. Basically somewhere in here, some wire's not connected right, but I am losing my mind. Well, actually did get it working last night briefly. Basically, we have two nunchucks and a switch that flips from the top arms to the bottom arms. So when we have it on bottom arm mode, the nunchucks control the bottom arms. You can independently control them. You can click the buttons to actually grab stuff. It's pretty cool. And when we want to use the top arms, just flip the switch and then the nunchucks control the top arms and the buttons control the pneumatics. Sorry, control the pneumatics. As in past tense. Because right now, nothing works. Like even as I'm recording this, like Sue's over there, it doesn't work. Like I hope I'll get it to work, you know, future me, you know, come on. I figured I'd just, you know, rip the recording, just buy me some time while I maybe think of a solution. So I'm just gonna assume future me got it. Real quick though, before I show off this invention, hopefully, I'm gonna show off some of the projects that you guys made and sent to me, because I really love doing this segment, so check them out. Sweet projects, guys. You already know I love this segment. It's really cool that I'm able to showcase some of your inventions, get you a little bit of exposure for your hard work, at the same time inspiring some other people. Win-win, positive everything. Definitely send me stuff you made on Instagram at Jlaservideo, or just email it too. Okay, so by now, hopefully I got the arms working. So here is the finished Dr. Octopus arms.
That is horrifying.
Let's test out the claws.
I see oranges you could do there.
Let those get there. You want an orange? I know that's what everyone wants. Gotta angle it in.
Whoa. No way.
Oh,
no, dude. Oh no. Yes.
Oh. I'm get it before I drop it.
Thank you, thank you. Let's go.
Cool.
See if you can catch the orange.
Oh, but I can pick it up.
That
I'm
is...
gonna throw it. Alright, give me something else to pick up.
Alright, throw out the paper towel. Oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Trash patrol. No, it's opening. Don't open. Don't do open until I say.
Oh, let's go! And scene.
Pretty cool arms. Definitely very awesome to see them like move around in that organic way. But that's only half the story. We still got the pneumatic arms up top.
Yep. Oh! Let's go!
Oh yeah.
Let's go! Oh, no way!
Now you might be thinking, cool, but this is pretty useless if you have to be tethered to an air compressor the whole time. Keep in mind, this is still a concept. You know, that's not the thing you should be concerned about. There's a bunch of other things I probably could have done better, but I've got a solution for this one. Got this paintball high pressure air tank, 3,000 PSI in this baby. Stick it on the back, connect this up. Definitely get some good use out of the pneumatics. So yeah, mobile option as well. All right, so that's all cool and everything. But Jake, you've been talking about this mind control the whole video. Where's the mind control? All right, I'll show you the mind control. So mind control technology nowadays, it's pretty sweet, but there's no Neuralink interface like you think yourself into a computer yet. All right, you know, come back in a couple years. For that stuff, we actually need to go inside the brain, like hook up a bunch of stuff. I think Elon actually said brain interfacing right now is like listening to a production facility from the outside. You know, you can kind of hear like some stuff moving in there, but you're not gonna get an idea of the full picture or be able to like modify anything from outside. That's like the whole Neuralink thing. But again, not really trying to drill holes in my head for this video, so we're gonna stick with the outside control. So that next best thing is an EEG interface. I'm using the one from OpenBCI. This actually reads spectrums of brain waves like alpha and beta waves, which corresponds to different brain activity. Plus it comes with like a sweet looking headset too. It took a little bit of finessing to get to work. Eventually we realized we needed just a little bit more skin contact, so we brought in an expert in that department. More skin contact, let's go.
Trying to make this thing green, I think.
Think green.
you will subscribe. You will like this video.
But if you just wet the connectors a little bit, we actually found out you can get a pretty good signal.
Focus harder, Kristen. There we go. Let's go.
Dude, that's so weird. I'm literally just counting by 10 in my head, so it's like not hard.
All hooked up, you can see just my brain activity. So as I'm talking, top right widget, that's the focus widget. So when that turns green, that means I'm focused. Close my eyes, really just focus in. Do some Jedi tricks. Pretty focused. You can see it also picks up my blinks. Blink. I really start thinking about a lot of stuff. I start doing math, start like moving my arms around. All the data goes crazy, and then when I go calm, it all levels out again. So that's pretty cool. So we can use this focus widget to control like kind of like an on or off switch. Say we can make the arms close, or we can make like the arm go up. It's based on my focus. You can just interface this with our Arduino. Yeah, that's how we can actually control this thing with my mind. I need to train my mind. Oh, it's pretty cool. Every time I think, I hear it move, and then it throws off my concentration. How does he do this in the movie, dude? He makes it look so easy.
Oh, you're very close.
Oh. Dude, this literally feels like the Star Wars scene when I'm trying to like pick up the, you know what I mean? We could make it do something else. We could make it like punch stuff with my mind. Just like I'm like looking wherever, I'm not focusing then.
That's so crazy.
That's how it's not moving now.
You don't care.
And as you can see, there's like other patterns I can do. Like I'm talking, it picks up talking. There might be like other things that I can think about that'll trigger certain wave patterns, like blinking triggers. That tells me that like certain thoughts can trigger certain patterns that we can look for and potentially use to control things. So we might be able to actually build like a whole controlling interface in the future. I don't know. That's for another video. This probably has already gone way too long, but I really do appreciate you guys watching. Like if you made it this far, bravo. I really appreciate that. This is why I do it, so thank you. So as always, let me know what I'm making next down below. I'm gonna go shut this thing off before it starts to develop its own consciousness, but thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.